BEEX project is a no-profit foundation about visual art and photography. If you want to help us, just drop a donation on buymeacoffee.com/BerlinExplorer.
Personal work, because you have those stories and those connections, and you can't help, I can't help but think about those stories when I'm editing. I'm definitely in the last few years through working with different friend editors improving. But no, I'm much better at editing other people's work. I can see what's missing automatically, my own work.
It's always easy to work on the work of other people, also because we are able to see more the outside than the inside.
Right, exactly.
When we are too much, especially in a work like yours, then when you are portraying your life, your family, it's not really easy to put yourself out from this work and say, okay, this is good, this is bad, no, or
Right.
work is not. No, so you have the love for and it's a real connection of love.
Yeah.
It's like, I shoot someone in the street. No, you shoot at your own life.
Right. Yeah, no, and that's definitely something that, comes to my mind as the years have gone on. But just, whose story am I telling? And then, like, so why am I telling your personal story and not telling my personal story? Just as far as like shooting, I don't know. I don't feel right that anything that I would show of another family or somebody else that I would be shooting, that if I wouldn't be willing to expose the same thing of me, like how in my head I can't, it's hard for me to justify that. Well, if I'm going to show this about someone else, well, am I okay with exposing this about myself also?
Yeah.
It just no. I don't, from the graffiti world, I don't want to put anybody on blast for, and I see that in a lot of, you see it all over the place, but a lot of street photography and even documentary photography, more so in journalism, but, people not thinking twice about, what you're showing of other people. So I definitely, at that point, there was a time in New York where I was same thing, just shooting everyone around me and including myself. And I had one or two friends that, I made little zines and that were like, man, I don't want that picture in there, and I'm not trying to show that. And I was like, shit, well, I guess the only person that I can 100% know that I have the okay to show photographed is myself. and I really started to include myself more as far as kind of justifying that in my own head, and definitely started mixing, my photographs from New Orleans, with the editing, I've included all the photographs that I was taking of me and my wife, and because we were, without going down there with a story idea or something, it was just I really needed to see for myself what was happening down in New Orleans. I mean, real fast, me getting down to New Orleans, me and my girlfriend at the time had taken a trip to go see a friend down south and had decided that we were going to go volunteer in New Orleans gutting houses after the storm. And during this road trip, we were going to get married somewhere. We had, by that point, been together like 15 years or something like that. And man, to make a long story short, when we volunteered in New Orleans, uh, the volunteer coordinator, when we told him one day, hey, we're going to leave early, we're going to get our marriage license, he asked who was going to marry us. I said, I don't know. We were just going to find something. He said that he was a pastor and he could marry us the next day, right after we finished gutting houses. And it was this whole, man, this guy threw us in less than 24 hours, threw us this mini wedding with photographers, wedding singer, everything. Um, the lady that we had just gutted her house was the witness, and we had just gutted everything from her home. She lost everything.
Yeah.
And she slips me $100 as a wedding gift. And I was blown away that, and at the time I tried to give it back, and she put me in my place really fast that I was going to take it. And I took it, but I couldn't believe, the love that people were showing us, and so thankful that we were there volunteering. And I just knew from being involved in media for a little while with Black Star. At this point of New Orleans, I was a maintenance man in Seattle when we went down there. And after that experience, man, we came back to Seattle for a few months, and we started seeing on the news the coverage of Hurricane Katrina down there. And they were starting to make it, the media was starting to make it seem like things were okay. And we knew things were far from okay because we had just been down there. And like I said, I was a maintenance man at the time. So we decided, we had no kids or anything, that let's move down there and actually see what's going on. So that was kind of the jumping off of going down. Yeah, I was a photographer and stuff, but it was just to be able to make any pictures, I have to be highly involved. I can't only be there to take pictures.
Yeah.
The pictures that I ended up taking were because I was helping my neighbor Stefan work on his house, and I had my camera with me. And as we're working on his house, then people come by and chit chat and then whatever, and then pictures happen. But it was never like I'm just out here, it's picture day. Like, hey man, I
Yeah,
can't help
yeah.
you.
I
No
totally,
touching, just camera today.
I totally got the point because I'm totally the same. It's never. I mean, I have the camera with me. If I don't have the camera with me, I mean, usually I go off always with this in my
Yep.
pocket and
Hmm.
or with my phone. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
if happen. If it doesn't happen, I mean, also with model in general, I do it. This I like to connect with people. I mean, not only with the photographer. I like really to
Right.
connect with every kind of people. So
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
I connect randomly with people in Berlin. I contact people on Instagram randomly on like
Yeah.
really
Yeah. Yeah.
like someone is crazy, and I try to meet people, and they tell me, okay, what we kind of picture we have to do, and I say, yeah, just chill out, take a coffee, and
Right. Right.
yeah, and then
Right.
we
Right.
see if we have the time to make picture, if picture come or not. I mean, it's
Right.
I really don't like to plan stuff. I don't
No.
like to structure the idea, and this is, I think, in a way, the real photography. It's just going on with the life, showing the true, and yeah, if the picture are good, good. If the picture are shitty, it's good in the
Right.
end.
Right.
So, and
Yeah.
the point is, I started, I think years ago, I don't know, 10 years ago, started to think about ways, what was the value to spend time with people, and I wanted to always spend a good time with the people, with other people. So I started to feel like, yeah, I don't want to go out, hang out with my friend doing nothing, smoking marijuana or stuff like that. I wanted just to having good time, good conversation, or just good silence.
Yeah.
And this is the
Yeah.
same of what I want in photography. I just want see what happened. I mean, surprise
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think yeah, I think this similarity between us, this flow, and it's really
Yeah.
nice to connect with people are like you.
No, and it's funny. I mean, with your description of random meetings, but with with the internet and social media and stuff, it's mad interesting to me because my I feel like my my gift, like with photography, is just on the street. Is I've always ran, just happened to be in super random situations because I'm okay with getting lost when I walk around. I'll talk to anybody, and you never know where the day is going to lead if you're open to, like, you know to communicate with anyone that's trying to communicate with you. Or, I'm not so great with the approach, but I don't know, I'm very open. And uh I've been told by people that I've photographed before that, man, you're non-threatening. You don't seem like, you don't seem, you don't come off as aggressive or pushy, or that yeah, I've been lucky that, people people can sort of sense that, that I'm very open that way. And my lady's the same way. I mean, that's one of our commonalities, that just we've always, together and separately, just talk to everybody.
Yeah, yeah,
you
it's
know
the same for my girlfriend. Is the same. I mean, seems like, I mean, this connection I had with her is pretty the same. We are like that. We like to spend time alone, a lot of time
Right.
alone, and same time we like to spend time with other people, talking, but just good talk. If we have to hang out doing stupid stuff, we don't want. We want to stay alone in that case.
Right.
And yeah, this is something I think. Yeah, it's really important to also understand that the people, in this case, the ladies we have, um, they are like us, and they accept us
Right.
like we are, and it's important, I think, to have person is like you in
Oh
your
yeah.
life, because in a way also it's really important to feel yourself understood from someone understand you for real,
Right.
and that's give a lot of value, I think, to our life.
Yeah. No, I mean, the longest sort of relationship that I have in my life, outside my brothers and my father, is Paia. And just the wedding that we had in New Orleans, I know is not every woman's dream. There none of our families were there. I mean, really, both of us being kind of shy, part of it was that we couldn't even imagine ourselves in, like, the the storybook, like, wedding. I can't, just couldn't imagine it. But um just that she, yeah, that she was open for that experience, and, had probably more to do with it than I did. I mean, going to New Orleans originally just to volunteer was her idea. I'm a bit cautious with things, but she's very much good for me, as far as she can jump off the cliff a little easier than I can, and yeah, made it apparent that there was no reason why we couldn't go down there. So, okay, sounds good. So no, and all of my photography, that she's been actually a part of it. I know there's a book somewhere in there, in my archive of her. I mean, she's in all of the projects that I've done, and that's uh, you know, a whole part of just shooting everything around me. For any question like, why are you taking so many pictures of Paia? Well, I've been around her for 20 plus years, so.
Okay. So, Craig, I think it's a moment to stop to record this podcast.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it was amazing. I mean, I liked a lot. I will stay here. I will stay there. I will stay there. Then we can drink a beer and continue to talk and play as a child, because it's really nice, the connection. I really feel lucky for this connection because it's really nice.
Awesome, man. I appreciate you reaching out, man.
And yeah, if I want to really advise everyone to watch your work. I hope this podcast will explode in
Yes.
one day. Then people can really understand how much value is in your work, because I think is a lot of value. And yeah, I hope you can get something back from that. It's something material back, give more value, and can because this is something I think every day is, and this is what pushed me out to doing all the project. I do it constantly, investing a lot of my time.
Mm-hmm.
I always have this thing in my head: I have to give something to this world, and something I don't know. It's a malediction I have inside of my mind.
Yeah.
Every day I wake up and the first things I do I start to create, and I go to the bed only when I stop to create. I mean, even sometimes I don't eat because I have to do it, and I feel I have to do it something to this world and to discover more and more and go more deep as possible, connect with people, find out something, because I think it's kind of a puzzle that I have to complete in a way, or give something. I mean, also suggest to other people doing not the same, but doing better than me or different things.
Right. Yeah, no, I've, I have this same thing, drive or addiction to to leave something meaningful, to make something meaningful, and to leave something behind that, I don't know, even it was always a weird thought, but even before I had kids, that thinking if I had kids, like that, even just for the fact of them being able to know. I lost my mother when I was 12 years old, and didn't really know her the way I would have liked to. And just the thought of, with all this, like, what I want to leave behind is, it's personal, because I would love my kids, to be able to really know me and know what I was looking at and know what I thought was important, and sometimes those conversations, you just never know if you're going to be able to have them or not. So stuff like this is important to me.
Yeah, I appreciate a lot. So this was Craig Mammano, and it was amazing. Thanks for listening to our podcast. Learn more about our project at allmylinks.com/BerlinExplorer, or visit our Instagram and follow Berlin Explorer Project.